Hi everyone, today we have an unplanned addition to the collection. When I say unplanned, I just mean that this wasn't my usual lengthy process of debating whether to get a machine and planning to get another machine that usually takes weeks or months. And also when actually deciding to get the machine, it wasn't the usual case of debating for several hours or even days about whether to actually get it. This was a very, what do they call it, spur of the moment decision. And basically what happened was I was scrolling through Facebook Marketplace, as I usually do, looking at washing machines and washer dryers, and this happened to pop up, and it was being sold by the guy who I follow, who I found recently, who actually delivers all throughout the area of Kent, which is relatively large actually. He's based in more central Kent, so he did have to travel quite far, about an hour each way to get here. So yeah, but he does offer delivery, so that's why I follow him mainly, and he works with appliances. So as for what's under here, I suppose I'll reveal it now and then I'll talk a bit more about it. We have a Zanussi ZWF 1621W. Yes, another Zanussi. This one is from week 51 of 2007 from the serial number, and I would say it's very much like my IZ in terms of spin programming, at least. Very slightly different, it's not quite the same. You will see what I mean when I actually use it. I have put it through a rinse, well, half a rinse, then a full 1600 spin, mainly to check out the motor for a reason I'm going to talk about in a second. But yeah, it looks nice. There's no yellowing on this actually whatsoever, so it makes a change from having a fully yellowed IZ to having a lovely fully white, well, another ZWF. The only problem is that comes off, but it's not going to be a massive problem because that's never going to move from 1600, because this on these ranges affects cycles differently. So it's like 1600, 1200, 900, 700 is for cotton, and the values change very slightly for synthetic, and they change again very slightly for delicate, which I think is weird, and I don't like that personally because it's misleading to consumers. But as I say, it will go to 1200 sometimes if I wash more delicate items, but yeah, it will mainly stay at 1600, so that doesn't bother me. This one's perfectly fine though, that doesn't come off, so that's good. But yeah, I think this looks decent. It's not my favourite design in the world, but I do quite like it still, so not really any complaints there. Now, this cost me, he was selling it for £60, which I don't think is too bad. The thing I was debating was whether, because he charges £25 for delivery, whether or not £85 total was justifiable. I decided it is in the end, obviously, as I've got it here. Yeah. So the machine is, as far as I know, fully working. While he was here, I checked the drum. The drum's absolutely fine. Bearings, spider, completely fine. The tub's very slightly warped, but that's the same as my IZ. I think they're all just like that. The paddles are in significantly better condition than the paddles in my IZ. In my IZ, they're all like crusty, and it's like something's been washed in there that's corroded the paddles, and they were like that since I got it. So whatever the previous owner washed in that, I don't know. But these ones are actually perfectly fine, judging. Yeah, there's no crust on that at all, and they're nowhere near as loose as the ones on my IZ. So yeah, that's nice. The drum, I'm still trying to work out whether or not it's bigger. I think it's the same size as my IZ. It's slightly different because they have those little dents down in the corner down here, whereas the ones on my IZ are perfectly straight. That one's kind of like, if you see what I mean. So yeah, I'm just comparing because I use 5 kilos and this is 6 kilos. I think they are the same drums though. I'm looking at it compared to the LG's drum, and yeah, I think it is the same. Someone will tell me, I'm sure. So yeah, the only potential problem so far, this is nothing major by the way. Now that sounds a lot worse than it is. A lot of you are probably going to think that motor's toast. It actually spun up to 1600 perfectly fine, and when the door's shut you don't really hear the motor bearings at all. It's not a DC motor, it's an ACC, what is it? You know what I mean. It's that motor, the same motor that some old Hot Point WDWFs used. So yeah, obviously it doesn't sound right because of the slightly dying bearings, but again, it's not really a massive problem to me. It still reaches full speed, and it doesn't sound too bad when the door's shut and when it's actually up to speed. So yeah. What else was I going to say? The door sill is absolutely filthy. It's the same as the IZ. Luckily though, all of the filth is underneath where it should be relatively easily accessible, but it's horrible. It's not as bad as the IZ was, and the top layer of the door sill is actually in pretty good condition, and the front lip as well. Up here the IZ has a major mold problem up there, this one does not. So yeah, don't think there's anything else to say really. I will be doing, I will be starting to film some full cycles on this. I will be releasing them in the middle of releasing the Hisense videos, because, you know, with Hisense, the videos that are left are basically the same as the equivalent cycles on the other Hisense. I just filmed them so that 1, you can hear it without the rattling noise, 2, it's different loads, and 3, this Hisense is slightly more interesting than the other one. But anyway, that's another topic. So yeah, I would love to know what you think of the Zanussi. I'm sure you guys have already made it very clear in the live chat what you think of it. So yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to put this on a maintenance wash tonight, and tomorrow will be its first test with clothes off camera, and then we will begin probably with a long boil wash with some very dirty towels, unless I do those on, no, I will leave those for the Cotton 95 video. So yeah, as I say, thank you very much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then please leave a like, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.